Hello, this is Karen from the Path of She, and I'm coming to you from Salt Spring Island on the cusp of the Winter Solstice. Winter Solstice being the day of the darkest night of the year when the powers of darkness are at their strongest, and it's the beginning of winter. And this is what winter looks like on Salt Spring Island in its rawest form. Now in the Path of She, what we focus on in each of the Sabbats is what is the soul lesson of the Sabbats? What does nature and the goddess have to teach us through the elemental powers of darkness and light? And so at the Winter Solstice, what we really focus on is this moment of the darkest night. And it parallels in our personal journeys, in our personal soul journeys, to this idea of the darkest night of the soul. And the darkest night of the soul is that time when you really either are hitting rock bottom, or your wounding or your suffering is really prevalent in your life. It's weighing you down, like the powers of darkness and the grayness in the world around us this time can weigh you down. And we live in a culture where we're afraid of the dark, and we're afraid of sorrow, and we're afraid of our wounding. And so we cling to the light, we cling to the things that make us happy, and we push away our sorrow, we push away our darkness. But when we follow the elemental patterns of nature, the seasons of nature, the sacred Sabbats, we know that there is no pushing away the darkness. There is no pushing away sorrow, there is no pushing away grief. It's part of the natural cycles of nature and the natural cycles of our human journey of soul. So what do we do then? What do we do at this time of intense darkness? What do we do in these times of the darkest night of our soul, of intense sorrow and grief, whether you're conscious of it or whether it's just below the surface in your life? And that really is the key lesson, the key soul lesson of the Winter Solstice. The Winter Solstice teaches us that life is raw and wild, that our lives are turbulent and chaotic, and that we are challenged, we are pushed. And the point of this struggle, or our sorrow, or our grief, our wounding, the point of it is that from that darkness, from that struggle, light is born. Nature teaches us that light is born from darkness, that the new growth of spring comes from this rich, silent, heavy darkness of the Winter Solstice. And we see that most clearly in the gorgeous symbology that from the darkest night, the new dawn is born. And on the Path of She, that's really where we go to in our soul lessons, is in that time of our darkest sorrow, in that time of our darkest struggle, that if we can go there, if we can be present, if we can open up in silence and depth and conscious awareness and love, that within that darkness, within that sorrow, within our grief, we find the seeds of light, we find the seeds of our beauty, we find the seeds of new beginning. And that if we look to nature, we know that everything shifts and changes, and that from that darkness, light will come. If we show up consciously in our power, if we do our soul work, light will come, new beginnings will come, a new dawn will come. And when I feel my own sorrow, or I feel the sorrow of the world, and if you're like me, you know there's a lot happening in this world around us right now. There's a lot of things to make us afraid. There's a lot of things that are bringing up grief and horror and our collective wounding, our personal wounding and our collective wounding. We're in a time of great turbulence and change. And that too requires that we look to the horror, that we look to the wounding, that we look to the shadow in our humanity. And that we trust if we show up consciously, within that we will also find beauty. We will also find what wants to be birthed forth, the new that wants to become forth. So it's an invitation over and over again at the Winter Solstice, whether that be in your personal life, in your personal sorrow, or collective sorrow, or in the wild elemental powers of nature, is to know that from the darkness, the new dawn is born. from your personal darkness, something new, beautiful will come out of it. From our collective human darkness and struggle, there is the potential for a brave, kinder new world. And all of this is dark goddess magic. All of this is rebirth magic. And so what the winter solstice calls you, the magic that is calling to you at this time of year, is for you to show up to the darkness, for you to be still and silent in the middle of, I know this is a busy season, there's a lot going on, but whether it's an afternoon or the evening of the winter solstice, or even just an hour or a few breaths, is for you to remember the darkness at this time of year, for you to be willing to acknowledge and embrace the darkness and wounding in your own life and in the world, and open to that dark moment, open to that darkest night of soul, and be silent and still and trust that new light will come, that the new dawn will come, then the new beginning will come. So I invite you just for a moment to be with me, to be in this wild place that I've taken you to, this elemental place, this raw, chaotic place. And I invite you just to put your hands on your belly, take a few deep, slow breaths, and acknowledge the dark. Acknowledge the deepest darkness of this time of year. Acknowledge the deepest darkness in your own life, in your own sorrow, in your own wounding. Acknowledge the deepest darkness and sorrow in our world right now. And then I invite you to open your heart and your hands and your mind and your spirit, and let the light come through you. Let the new dawn come through you. Let new beginnings come through you. Let this be a moment, this year and this time, a moment of collective birth, collective renewal, a collective new dawn. And let this be your prayer for the winter solstice. Let this be our prayer for the winter solstice. Let this be my prayer for the winter solstice. And I bless you and honor you in whatever way your winter solstice is unfolding before you, in whatever way your darkest night is showing itself in you right now, in whatever way the new dawn is emerging for you. And I send you my love and my winter solstice and my Yule blessings from the path of She, from the wild world of Salt Spring Island, and from the goddess. Blessed be. For your own personal exploration of Dark Goddess Rebirth magic, please consider the Path of She Winter Guided Journey. Through integrated writings, activities, and a guided meditation, you can embrace these powerful teachings and embark on your own rebirth magic from the darkness into the light of a new you. Please also consider the Path of She Book of Sabbats, a journey of soul across the seasons, to further explore the transformative powers of the winter solstice and all the soul lessons that the goddess has for us throughout the yearly cycle of Sabbats and seasons. To find out more about these Path of She offerings, click on the links below. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my Path of She channel for more goddess wisdom teachings. Blessings from the Path of She.